Hello and welcome and happy 8th anniversary to TAGA. So today is the day. Bunch of stuff, mainly Logi Link version has been released. He is a memento unit just like Dios Link was, basically banner, memento style, additional memento. All of that is going to be the same vein as Dios Link version. Got a new memento for the Dragon family, mostly focusing on Zaphyrus and Lil. And then Noin and Fury have altar class jobs now. There's a bunch of good stuff, some fun quests that you can do for shards and other materials. And then several of the farming quests have an 8 times multiplier. So things like totems and protagonist job pieces from normal quests, definitely farm those now because you'll get huge mileage out of your AP and your skip tickets. So I want to talk about Logi just shortly. But there's a couple of things that are stopping me from focusing on him more intently. First is that the database has not been updated yet, so I can't give like really specific details about his kit. And then second, my recording got messed up that was showcasing him in just one of the rune levels, so it wasn't anything too crazy, but I just wanted to see how he behaves on auto. Generally speaking, he has a defensive buff for the first 6 turns, and then after that he becomes more offensive. He does attack and P defense as far as his scaling goes, so he's just a really tanky, does provoke, does cover, and then so take a bunch of damage, then dish out a bunch of damage is his general game plan. Definitely, I think he's going to be a worthwhile unit for most people. Just pretty much for the same reasons that Turfing Link is a really good unit. I think you'll see a lot of Logi Link in the clear data of difficult levels. So the summoning that's going on now doesn't really matter. There's a free gem return banner, and then I used the rest of my discount tickets on the Templar banner just because there's not a lot of application for discount tickets. Nothing really great came out of any of that. So at the end of the video, I will show the actual summoning that I was doing that mattered a little bit more, that's in celebration of the anniversary, and we'll go out on a much higher note. But for now, let's go ahead and take a look at the banners. And here we are at the banners. So let's talk discount tickets first, just because it's very, very quick. The Northern Pride group memento and the Templar mementos are the only places you'll be able to use any remaining discount tickets. So either just let them disappear or throw them into here. Either way, it's not a whole lot of gems, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. So next up is the Logi banner. Now this is going to be how you acquire the unit. It's a memento summon where you guarantee a copy on step number 20. And a duplicate is going to be worth 100 shards, which is very valuable for a Link unit. As for whether or not I'd recommend him, I for the most part would, assuming that you have the gems to guarantee him. Just because he's a tank slash DPS slash support. Overall, there's a few exceptions, but in general, new units that come out, it's just power creep. They are going to be good. I don't know how good of a counter specifically to Ein's Link version he's going to be, but not worrying too much about PvP. Just his utility in PvE is going to be really, really high, just because of being the tank support slash DPS. He very casually puts out pretty high damage, at least the mercenary that I was testing with was able to. So for a lot of the same reasons that Turfing Link is good, you're going to find Logi Link to be good. So if you skipped Turfing and you're really, really needing a tank unit, then I'd recommend him even more. As far as Dios Link goes, he is still an excellent unit. You may have noticed some very specifically anti-Dios things coming out because he is so good and so simple. And nonetheless, I use him probably more, like him and Ophinius are the two that I just tend to throw at almost everything unless the game very hard lock forces me not to. Would I recommend paying full price for him? Only if you're diehard. Otherwise, I would just recommend putting it on pickup banners when they show up, like the one that is currently available. I've got a little bit extra to say about the memento pickup banner because there's something that's either misleading or just badly designed, but we'll talk about that at the end. For other memento banners, there's a couple of 9 steps with the selector, so familiar format. The secondary mementos for both Dios and Logi Link is going to be in this banner. It's nice that it's not diluted by anything. And then the family memento for the dragons. Zaphras is a universally useful unit to have. I wouldn't necessarily recommend paying full price for this when there's other options. Like, if you're going for Logi, then your gems are spoken for. And if you're trying to be economical, I think just going for one of the pickup banners and guaranteeing yourself something really good while getting a bunch of other stuff along the way is a little bit more ideal. But if you are hard focused on either Zaphras or Lil, or even Schmeier if you don't have other mementos for her, then it's a good way to go. And as an added bonus, some of the other mementos in this pool are very good if you don't have them, like Andex's second memento, Nimmel's, Soul's, Ox, etc. Okay, so now let's talk about pickup banners. I don't have much to say about the unit one. It is nice that for both of these that the 2.5 rate has been boosted to 5%. Coins are always useful. That's what I ended up going for this one. I ended up doing 5 steps just because there's always units that I need shards of. And then the ability to potentially get new units or lots of shards of other units along the way too. It's just all the better. Now, the memento one overall is the same structure, but there is one thing about it that caught my eye that is concerning, and that's that you can only do it 10 times, which is only an issue because of the coin shop for this banner, because as was the case last time they ran one of these, when you take a look at the coin shop, you can either get for 1,000 coins a general selector that's any of the mementos that were currently available except for Dios Links for 1,000, and then for 2,000 you can get Dios Links memento, which would be an alternative to just doing his regular banner. The problem is if you can only do it 10 times, then that's going to be 1,000 coins, so I don't know why they would put that in there if it's impossible to get. So I am thinking that either A, it's not really 10 times and I either was mistranslating it looking at it, or it is only 10 times, but then there's going to be another one following the reset, because they say that you can still use the coins after this reset, I think up until the 7th. So they might just do them back to back, but I think that kind of sucks because if you really, really want Dios, you have to commit to his regular banner. You can't get anything else good along the way. Or you make the decision to do the memento pickup banner, try to get his, and if you don't get lucky, you may end up just having to settle for a selector that's like everything except his memento. I don't know how many people are going to fall into that scenario that I just described, but if you are, I definitely recommend waiting until the eve of the next reset. Check the news site, see if they announce what the banners are going to be, because if they do, then that would help a lot, and then you could make your decision right then and there. But they don't always do that, so I can't guarantee that'll be an option. Whew, okay, that was unusual. Don't normally have to go that deep into weird what-if scenarios, but let's go ahead and do a little bit of summoning, and we'll see how the pickup banner went for me. Okay, so yeah, I'm going for these units. I definitely, in retrospect, probably could have put Yaris Link version on that lineup, but I had to include Daphne just because I have both of her mementos, and she's just a unit I absolutely love. So for the most part, this is a hunt for either new Link version units or shards of the 2 Kanon and Otama that I'm currently working on. But off to a decent start where we got 2 reds. So I'm really hoping this 5% ends up making a meaningful difference. And look at that already. This is an unusual situation where not only did I get something good on the first step, but a pretty good result overall as far as Seda goes, at least in terms of scarcity, just because there is also a free daily pickup summon, but the cutoff for that is much earlier and you're not able to get Seda from this. So I definitely am going to start working on her. I don't have her memento and I don't have much in the way of shards, but luckily I'll throw a little bit of coins her way. Okay, so on to step number 2. Let's see if we can beat my, usually on a good day, it's like 1 in every 5 steps gets me featured. So if we can get like 2, a total of 5, I'll consider that good. So we got a yellow circle. Definitely not a good sign. But I'm willing to do a total of 5. That's just because how the gem spent bonus works and get a couple of extra coins. And then that way I will be able to finish up a couple units. But yeah, I clicked a little fast here, but then we got Daphne. So finally, I finally have her. Now, how exactly I'm going to get enough shards to make her usable is a question for another day. But let's not worry about that too much now. Let's just keep running on the summons here. Okay, so on to the third step. So swapping out Daphne for Almira here. Again, I think it's a little silly. I totally spaced on Yaris, but I can tell you right now it would not have mattered as far as which units and which slots ended up appearing. So overall, we got 2 featured thus far, one of which is on the newer end of units. So I'm pretty happy. We got 1 more red circle. I am going to tell you right now that I did 5 steps total, and steps number 4 and 5 did not have any 5 stars. So I'm just not going to show them. So this is going to be functionally the final summon step for this video. And we've got ourselves a flying Ouroboros, and this is going to be 100 shards of Ultima Link version. Now that is really, really, really good news. So instead of wasting time on some dud summons, let's go ahead and achieve a milestone. Okay, so that 100 shards of Ultima made a pretty big difference because I am, as of right now, exactly 25 shards away from being able to max limit break him and thus get the full benefit of the link system. So now his spot is going to go to Seda. I think that timed out pretty well. I only needed to buy about 13 shards from the coin shop to make this happen. And then I had, at the time of when I first summoned, it was like I was a few hours away from getting that last shard. So rather than trade it out and have them be on an uneven clock, I figured it was better to just wait a few hours and do it. Those hours have passed, and now we have fully max limit broken and ready to be linked with 100% of the stat bonuses. So I'm pretty happy with that. Overall, anniversary is good. Nothing too crazy out of the ordinary, and the celebration's not over yet. So if you are summoning, I wish you good luck, and I will see you all next time.